What's up, guys? Got a little bit of a different video for y'all today. This is going to be story time number 1. This is going to be the best and worst relationship I've ever been in. Okay? So, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. Alright? I don't want to waste y'all's time. And I'm just going to hit the high points. I'm not going to go into every deep detail, because this is like the 7th time I've tried to make this video. So, but I do want to address a couple things before I start telling the story. First off, alright, I do not want any hate to come with this video. I don't want any parties involved catching crap. Let's see if I can get this readjusted. There we go. Now, I'm not, that's too far. And I make this video with no malicious intent at all. Okay? As long as that's clear, I'm fine. And I'm not gonna give out any names other than the fact that and don't post this in the comments. If you know, you know, and I don't want anybody sharing it. If you know who my favorite country artist is, then you know their last name. Actually, he's a subscriber to this channel, so if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know, and I don't want any of this spreading around. So anyway, let's get in it. So, start off. I had just gotten my first job, right? And this, I'm 19 at the time. I'm 19, and the girl we're gonna be talking about in this video was 16 at the time. Okay, yes, I know, I shouldn't have done it. Shut up. Anyway, and I always went to the same place to eat lunch, right? Always went to the same place, and I seen this new girl sitting there at the window, right? And I start conversating with her just like I had done every other girl that was new over there. Just anybody that was new at the window, really. Just like, hey, are you new over here, and everything like that. Just small talk, more or less, right? So I didn't think nothing of it, and I seen her a second time when we started talking again, and she started asking me where I worked and everything like that, and you know, I told her and everything. And a couple days later, she shows up where I work. I worked at my local co-op. If y'all don't know what a co-op is, which if you're in the South, I don't understand why you don't, but it's a farm supply store. It's where you buy livestock feed and everything, and I was out on the dock loading feed. Anyway, back on topic. She comes over there, and she comes out the warehouse where I'm working, and starts talking to me. Well, we exchange contact information on Messenger, right? And after that, right, we start talking, you know, just start talking. We talked for a little while, and I had sort of figured out that she wanted to date me, because some of them you can just tell. Well, we start dating, right? And, you know, everything's going good, going good. But, there's one thing a little bit off, and I want to address this. Uh, this is some advice for some of you younger guys, alright? If you meet this girl and you really like her and you think she's the greatest thing in the world, wait till you meet her parents. Please. Don't fall head over heels like I did for a girl until you meet her parents. Because that is going to make or break the deal for you. I promise. It did for me anyway. Now, another thing I want to address. I said I was going to bring the text messages, but unfortunately, I don't think I have them anymore. Because I didn't want anything, coming back on me or anything like that. Any of the malicious text messages anyway from like her parents after we broke up. I've probably still got some of ours, mine and hers on my phone, but I'll look. If I do, I'll edit them in. But anyway, she finally invites me over to come meet her parents, right? Well, then after this is when we started dating. But I go over to her house, right? I meet her parents, and they're asking me all these questions like normal parents do. And I didn't have a problem with that. The questions they were asking, in my opinion, were normal, right? But if you don't get the right feeling, like you're not at home, not welcome, or if you're like not comfortable there, that should be a big red flag to you, guys and gals. If you're not comfortable there after probably the first, second, third time, you need to get out. You need to get out. And this vibe was way off. And I should have realized it sooner, and I should have just, but me being like I am, I'm committed to this, and I'm just that kind of person, right? And anyway, just every time I went over there, the vibe was just off, and she had really strict parents, right? And which they didn't have a problem with, like the 16 and 19 thing, like my age being 19 and hers being 16. And just want to put this out there. No, we never done anything. If you know what I'm referring to, we never done anything. Alright? Just putting that out there. Never done anything. And, anyway, her parents started getting on to us because, like, the road where they live is like up here, and their house is like down in a hole, right? And you park up here, right? Well, if I'm up here and I've got my truck parked regular, if my front door's open, obviously you can't see past the door, right? And her parents started getting on to us about going over there at my truck, which we wasn't doing anything, obviously, and just talking, right? But their issue was they couldn't see where our hands was, right? That's a bit crazy to me, but hey. Anyway, they get on to me about it, and I didn't think nothing of it, and they kept going on with it, and I finally said, yo, how about this? Now, this was about 2 weeks in to us dating, right? And I said, alright, what if I back my truck in? That way y'all can see what's going on. And we'll sit on the tailgate and talk. And, you know, everything will be good, right? And they said, alright, that's fine, whatever. And thought everything was going to be good. Well, about a week later, I was going to go over and see her on her lunch break. I told her about 2 hours before I was going to come over, hey, I'll come spend my lunch with you if your parents are okay with it. She said, okay, I'll ask them. Well, her parents was okay with it, and her mom was the only one home at this point because her dad was at work. But, you know, I got over there, right, long story short, and we're sitting on the tailgate, and I backed my truck in so they could see what we was doing, right? And her mom wouldn't even talk to me when I pulled in because I said hey to her and everything like that, and she was just giving me this go to hell look, like, you know, like that kind of look. And I didn't think nothing of it because I was just like, hey, maybe her mom's had a bad day, you know, I don't know, right? But anyway, we're sitting there talking, and I get ready to leave, right? So obviously, I'm about to get in the truck, and she walks over and hugs me. Obviously, we kissed, and I went on my way, right? Well, we got a little carried away. I'm not gonna say we didn't. We got a little carried away. I mean, hands wasn't going nowhere, but we was getting a little carried away. And her mom comes out and starts screaming at us. And, you know, I don't like being screamed at. I don't think anybody does. But me personally, don't scream at me. Don't scream at me. Because that's when shit starts getting tore up. That's when things start flying that aren't supposed to fly. And, you know, I asked her, like, hey, don't scream at me, please. You know, I was like, yo, calm down, you know. I get that's your daughter, but I also have my own boundaries. And, you know, at some point, I don't care if it's your girlfriend's parents, I don't care if it's your boyfriend's parents, whatever you're into, I don't care who it is, at some point, you gotta say, enough's enough, and I'm not gonna put up with this, right? And I finally just said, yo, stop screaming at me. It's the last time I'm telling you. And she quieted down, right? Thought that was going to be the end of it, right? But one thing you're going to notice is they like keeping things rolling, and they keep, like, trying to pull up shit from the past. But, start to get a little mad. But, anyway, I go home. I think that's going to be the end of it. Well, I went back to work, and then I was texting her, you know, like, hey, are you okay? Is your mom calm down? She was like, yeah, she's fine. Well, I get home, and this was normal routine, right? I got home, and I called her, hey, you know, I got home from work, alright, you know, I'm fine, you know, just tell her what's going on, more or less, right? And, phone gets ripped out of her hand. Okay. And, her dad starts talking, right? Now, he was at work during this whole thing, so, you know, whatever. And, he starts talking, and one thing I want to point out during this phone conversation was that he said, we were thinking about calling this in. Now, this is where speculation comes in. any normal person, I'm guessing, me at least, if somebody says, we were thinking about calling this in to me, what do you think I was thinking? I'm going to school to be in law enforcement. What did you honestly think I was thinking? Yeah, I thought he was going to call the cops on me. So, that immediately set me on alert, right? And that little switch that we all have went click, you know. And he never said it straight up, but that's what my fear was. And anyway, we get everything worked out, you know, everything's fine. Whatever, right? Everything goes good for a couple weeks, and the best part's yet to come. And we're doing good for probably, I want to say, almost a month, right? No issues, no nothing. Well, our 1 month comes around. Yeah, I know. Our 1 month, big deal, right? But, her parents got the notion that they wanted to meet my parents. Hey, okay, that's cool, whatever. You know? Well, her parents come over, and she comes over with them, obviously, and she had got me something, so, and she told me a couple days before she comes over that she had got me something, which I told her not to get me something, because 1 month, that's 1 month, that's not a big deal, you know. And, we was dating for probably a month and a half, right? Yeah, I know. I was head over heels in love with a girl for a month and a half. It was my fault, okay? But anyway, they come over and we're exchanging gifts and everything like that. Everything goes smooth, right? And she got me like this big buck 119, right? And about this long, you know, it's a hunting knife, right? And I eventually got that engraved with our, like, the date that we started dating and our initials, like our first name initials and everything, with a heart in the middle of them and everything like that. Cost me a little bit of money, but hey, whatever, you know. And anyway, I go over there one day, about a week and a half after that, and I get invited. Now this is probably a week before the 4th of July, right? And anyway, I get invited to a 4th of July party. Now, mind you, this is a very, 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 very Christian family, right? So, also, to those out there that are looking for advice, if you walk in to your potential girlfriend or boyfriend's household and there's crosses all over the wall and Bible verses and everything like that, that's basically all that's on the wall. Get out. Get out. Cut it off. Now let me clarify that statement. All right, there's nothing wrong with dating a Christian girl. All right, nothing wrong with it. Matter of fact, I support it. But the issue comes when they're so overly, I don't want to put this, devout, so engulfed in it that it just seems like they're trying to make up for something, or it's, I don't want to say cult-like, but cult-like, right? And not saying they were part of a cult or nothing like that, but I'm saying though it was they were so forward with it that it was honestly creepy, right? And so we get invited to this. I get invited to this church 4th of July party for their church, right? And her mom had told me, "Hey, don't be." She didn't say this, but don't be playing grab ass in the pool and don't be making out. And pretty good, right? Okay, I can do that, right? And anyway, we never done any of that. But needless to say, there was a very serious double standard in this family. I pull up this party and I text my girlfriend, "Hey, I'm here," right? She comes up to the truck, yada yada, and we walk in, right? And anyway, I'm going around. I see some familiar faces now. Something to add. I went to school, high school, with her 2 older brothers, right? And they're both married at this point, right? Trust me, that's gonna play a factor here in just a little bit. But I don't think nothing of it, and I go change, and I get in the pool, right? We're not doing anything, we're not. And they had bought pool noodles, right? Now, I don't care if you're a normal person. You can't get a bunch of mid-20s and teenage guys playing with pool noodles and not expect some dick jokes to be said, right? It's gonna happen, right? There's no getting around it. It's gonna happen. And we're tearing these things up and we're whapping each other with them, just playing around. And some jokes were said from me, not me first, but because I'm trying to be more reserved. Right? I don't want the little demon coming out, right? And so I waited, right? And everybody else is cracking the jokes, and I just fall right in with the crowd, right? And another thing that happened while this was going on, my girlfriend's uncle on her mom's side was the preacher of this church. Now, the preacher's daughter, my girlfriend's cousin, and her boyfriend are in the pool playing suckface. Right, they're making out in front of 5 to 8-year-old kids. Okay? Now, I don't know about you. That's a big red flag to me. It just is to me. That's where the double standard that I was talking about earlier comes in. And I don't think nothing of it. You know what? And we get done with the pool noodles and everything like that, and whatever. I think that's going to be the end of it. Well, we get out and I go change back into my normal clothes. And I'd volunteered to light fireworks if they needed me, right? So and we had these Roman candles. We're sitting here not shooting them at each other, but we're shooting them up in the air and everything. So I'm running around lighting them for the kids, you know, just ha ha ha, you know, whatever. And which I smoked at the time. And so obviously I had a lighter. But I'm running around lighting these things for the kids, lighting my own, lighting my girlfriend's, you know, just having a good old time. Well, about halfway through that was when one of her older brother's wives went and blamed all the pool noodle jokes on me and exempt everybody else from it. Like saying, oh no, they didn't do it, he did all of it. Right? Again, double standard. And I see my girlfriend sitting over to the side bawling her eyes out because her sister-in-law has just told her what she done and went and told her mom that I was the one making all the jokes in the pool, right? And needless to say, I didn't say nothing right then, but we had a little bit of a talk about that. And I think that's the end of it, and we go on with the party, right? Well, then, this same sister-in-law goes out there and says we was the one making out in the pool, not the preacher's daughter and her boyfriend. Or no, she told my girlfriend's mom that I kept asking her to and we wasn't going to, right? And Santa kept pushing me off and everything, which again did not happen. Alright, sure, we're close, but we're close together, but we're not gonna be. She asked me not to do this for the party. Obviously I'm not gonna do it because, you know, I'm trying to be, you know, I don't want to say civilized, but I'm trying to comply, you know. I'm trying my best with these people. But anyway, preacher comes over to me and asks me if I'll help him light fireworks. I said, yeah, sure, whatever. We're out here lighting fireworks and everything like that, and I kind of messed up, and my fuse caught on. Now just so y'all can picture this. We had this big old, the people that was lighting fireworks, the big mortars that you're shooting the fireworks out of, we had like 7 of those attached to a board with a hole drilled in it to where we could just slide the mortars one at a time through the holes, right? And that's what was holding them up, that way we could light them, keep them from falling over. Well, trust me, that's going to play a role here in just a few minutes. But I had my lighter lit. Obviously I carried, well, not obviously, but I carried a Zippo, right? So I don't have to press the button. Well, I'm sitting here holding my lighter like this, right? And we're looking, like, the mortars are down here, and we're kind of like looking down on top of them. Well, mine was a little bit closer to the fuse than I thought it was, and mine caught. And I just said under my breath, like, shit, you know, like, hey, I'm sorry, you know. Like, you know, shit, mine caught early, whatever. And Anyway, I didn't think nobody heard me, right? When the preacher comes over to me, he said, hey. He said, just, hey, don't do that again, you know, watch your mouth. I said, okay, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean to, you know, and, you know, I thought that was going to be the end of it yet again. Well, this time, the wife of the brother that I was telling y'all about a minute ago, he was standing right next to me when I said it, right? So what does he do? He runs and goes tells his mama again. Now this one I admit I was guilty for. Alright, the rest of them, no. Before this, no. And there's one more that I gotta tell y'all. So after this, I was like, and they just kept giving me crap over it, you know, just every time I get up there to light fireworks, they'd have something to say about me accidentally slipping a cuss word, right? So I got up there to light one, and I heard them say something else, and I just clicked my lighter shut, shoved it in my pocket, and said, if y'all are going to sit here and do this, I'm going back over here, I'm sitting down, right? Because I'm not going to listen to this, right? And, we sit down, everything's fine now, and, or so I thought. My girlfriend did not know about her brother going and telling his mom about me cussing at the fireworks stand. But I sit down next to her and we're just sitting there talking and watching the fireworks go off, right? Well, next thing you know, like if I'm sitting here, they lit all 7 fireworks and the mortar board just goes like this and falls back toward the crowd, right? Muzzle toward the crowd. Well, I see this, right? Because my situational awareness is out of this world, right? And I see this, and I tell my girlfriend, hey, we got to get out of here, right? Because these mortars are about to go off, and I don't feel like getting smacked with a flaming ball of fire, right? And she goes, wow, what's wrong? And I said, don't ask me any questions, let's just go, you know, because, you know, I'm worried about my safety, I'm worried about her safety, obviously, and because she's my girlfriend. And she kept asking me why, and I panicked, and I just picked her up and ran, right? I just tried to get out of the way as fast as I could, right? And where they was lighting the fireworks, like, okay, the house was at the road and we was in the backyard, right? And there was a deck where the pool was, and I'd take her and run up on the pool, or run up on the deck where the pool was. And on my way up there, the mortar started going off, right? Now I'm wearing cargo shorts, which was very, very odd for me, because most of the time when you see me, I'm wearing a cut-off shirt and blue jeans, right? And one of these fireworks comes over, hits me right in the side of my right thigh, on the outside of my right thigh, and it hits me, and I feel it, and I had another choice word to say, which was obviously, well, not obviously, but the F word. That's what I said, right? I said frick, you know. I didn't say frick, but I'm not going to put it on YouTube, right? And it hit me, because I'm trying to keep this video clean, and it hit me, and I said it, right? And I just kept running, right? And the next one that went off whizzed right behind my head, right? So if I'd have stayed there, I'd have got one in the leg and I'd have got one in the side of the face, right? And that wouldn't have helped my beauty any. Not that I'm beautiful. Probably would have made me a little bit more pretty, actually. But, anyway, we run inside the house, and from all the explosions, she's real tore up, right? Because they don't sound that loud when they're going up in the air. But when they're shooting towards you, they're a lot louder. And, we run inside. I sit her down at the kitchen table in a chair, right? I kicked out a chair with my foot and sit her in it at the dinner table, right? Well, we get in there maybe 5 to 8 seconds after we get in there. Her parents are right behind us. And her mom sort of pushed me back, and then her dad shoved me, right? And, you know, to get me out of the way. And they, you know, they're checking on her and everything like that. It's your daughter. I get it, alright? Well, they get everything settled back down, and they go back outside. I stayed in the kitchen because that pissed me off a little bit, right? And, anyway, party's about over, right? We're about to light the grand finale. Everything goes swimmingly, right? And I already knew what was going to happen. I knew her parents was going to make us break up. I could see it coming from a mile away. I knew what was going to happen, right? But anyway, now I know I've got this text, but I had told her, like, hey, your parents are gonna make us break up over this. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and you might as well just prepare, right? Because it's gonna happen. Well, everybody starts going home, right? And I'm on my way home. And I texted her, just like, you know, and she told me, and I'll edit this in right here, like over my shoulder right here, I think. Or I'll make it the whole screen, I don't know which. Yeah. There's proof. But anyway, she says in the text message, okay, my parents just told me we don't have to break up, but they want to talk to you about something. Okay, that's fine, right? And I said, just call me and let me talk to your mom, right? And we'll get this over with, right? Well, she said we was about to run out of signal, and she was right, because I knew which way they was going. And they were about to run out of signal. And anyway, I wake up the next morning, and where I was at the time, I didn't have any Wi-Fi, so I had to go to town where I had internet to text her, right? So I don't text her all day because, you know, I don't have any signal, and I've been working on the farm all day, so I didn't think nothing of it. Well, I get in probably, I want to say around 8 o'clock in the evening, right? I call her, see how she's doing, you know. And I said, well, there ain't no use in beating around the bush. Let me talk to your parents, and we'll get this over with. She goes, okay. Well, her parents hadn't told her yet, but they made us break up, right? I'll just make that part short and sweet. They made us break up. And I then proceeded to take a bitching out from her mother that lasted probably 20-30 minutes of just her talking, right? Just giving it to me, right? And then she was pretty much calling me everything, like, you know, you're this, you're that. I'm not gonna say I'm on YouTube, but I mean, it wasn't any cussing, but you could see what she was saying, right? And whatever, right? And we haven't talked since, you know. And I accept full blame. I'm not gonna not admit that there is a double standard in that family that needs to be fixed. Like, the family can do whatever they want, but any outsiders have to obey our rules, and if you don't, then you're out. And that should not have happened, you know. And if the people involved ever see this video, I forgive y'all. I forgive y'all for what you done to me. I forgive you for ripping one of the most important things that was ever important to me out of my life. Because that's what the good book says we gotta do. We gotta forgive and forget. I won't forget it, but I forgive you. Because I'm not going to sit here and let you all dictate my life any longer. Right? And to my ex, if you ever see this, hi, I hope you're doing well. And I want you to know that you didn't do anything wrong in this. It was all me. Other than the things that got blamed on me that I didn't do, right? But anyway, that's about it. Other than a couple things I want to say, I don't want any hate going toward these people for any reason whatsoever. That's why I've left their names out. And also, I don't want to get harassment charges, which is, again, minimized if I leave names out. But you know what, guys and gals, if you all ever have an encounter with a family like this and it just doesn't feel right, get out while you can. Get out while you can. It's going to be a lot less painful, and it's going to be a lot less heartache if you just go ahead and get out. Just say, hey, I don't think this is going to work, because I'm not comfortable here, and I just don't feel like I'm at home. So, you know, I just don't feel like I'm welcome. Every time I come over here, it's just uncomfortable, or your parents are too strict for me. Just be honest. Whatever it is. If you really love that person, don't lie to them. Be straight up and be completely straightforward with what you believe. And I made a mistake. I should have avoided that altogether, even though I would probably do it over again. But you know what they say, it's better to have loved than to never loved at all. So that's what happened. So I guess I will see you all later, and I'm not going to waste any more of y'all's time. So we'll see y'all in the next one.